Hi there. I'm Amy Riles with Honestly Horses. This is Gus, and I thought I would just show you today and talk a little bit about what it looks like when I go to get on a horse and they don't want to stand still. I don't know if he's going to stand still or not, but it is something that we work on. I don't get on a horse that can't stand still. If the horse can't be still for mounting, in my opinion, that horse isn't ready to ride. And it doesn't matter if you've got a broke horse that's 20 years old and they won't stand still to be mounted, or if you have a young horse that's just starting under saddle and they won't stand still to be mounted. A horse not standing for a rider to get on is a symptom, and from my perspective and my opinion is that that's a symptom of a horse that has an issue somewhere, and we need to address the issue. So what I do is I do a whole lot of groundwork and preparation, helping the horse find still, whoa, prior to me going and throwing a leg over that horse. I do something known as fencing. I climb up on my rail of my pen and I ask a horse to step up under me and pick me up at the rail. I ask them to offer me that position and their back so that I can get on. And when I first start to get on a young horse, I do that from above them, and I will step down very gently and sit on them and then step back off, and I work on that. But here's the key, I don't ever do that unless the horse is ready for me to get on. Here's why. A horse that doesn't stand for us to get on is in essence bolting. It doesn't matter that they're bolting at a walk or that they're just moseying off as soon as our butt hits the saddle. That is representative of the fact that, one, we don't control the feet, we don't have the horse's mind, they're elsewhere and doing other things when we get on. And I like a horse that waits on me and looks to me for direction. So if I'm going to get on them, I want them to stand there until I give them a cue to move and look to me for direction. Which way are we going to move? Where are we going first, Mom? So we're going to see what Gus thinks about that. I haven't been on Gus in a couple of weeks. I've been doing some groundwork with him. Yesterday we did some great groundwork and worked on some ground tying out here in the arena. That's also another step in the process of me helping a horse find whoa when I go to get on them. So I thought I would just come out here cold turkey, haven't warmed him up, saddled him, bridled him. Typically, if I'm going to do this kind of work and I know a horse has a propensity to not want to stand still, I'm going to have a rope halter on them and not a bridle, because I'm going to take this opportunity to school this process versus assuming that he's going to stand like a boss and I'm going to get on and he's going to be parked here for a few minutes until I ask him to move off in a certain direction. I would do that when I know that, and I'm confident that we're not still schooling this issue sometimes. So I did this for the sake of most people who will have their horse saddled and bridled and go to get on, and they do, and the horse moves when they put their foot in the stirrup sometimes. So I wanted to show you what it looks like if a horse tries to move. I'm not going to ask him to be still. I'm not going to ask him to whoa. I'm going to go through the motions of getting on like I would any horse. That's mine and that I expect to stand still. And if he moves, we'll school a little bit and we'll see what that looks like. Good boy. So the butt moved away. So that's not an offering. That's not a gesture for me to get on. So I might get off, back him up, back him up. Might go ahead and disengage that hind end a little bit. I'm going to put a little more intention in my disengagement. I'm just saying, hey, I'm here, we're doing something. I direct the feet. I'm going to line them back up here. I don't always line them up with my mounting block. Oh, perfect opportunity. I'm going to grab my good solid whip. Perfect opportunity. Notice I hooked my rein on my saddle. That's because if he gets away from me, I don't want him dragging my reins around. So we're just going to school a second. We're going to work on what it looks like to step up and ask me to get on. Now, instead of lining him up with my mounting block, this time I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do what I would do if I were at the round pen rail and I were going to ask him to step up and over. Good boy. This horse has some whip anxiety, so I'm just going to touch him with that before I reach up here and ask him to step up under me or to me with his back end. That's close, but that's not quite what I'm asking for. I'd like for you to back up. Good boy. You step around. That's all right. Let's back then. Good boy. Good boy. I realize we get a little out of our frame there. I'm just moving his hind end around. I'm going to ask him to stop here. I don't want him to come up to the mounting block. I want to ask that from here. I'm going to ask him to step that hind end over. Get a little better lined up with me. Good boy. That's better. Good boy. Very good boy. Very good boy. Now I'm going to ask him to step up under me. Good boy. Step. One step at a time. One step at a time. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So the reason I chose him for this is because typically this is what I have. When I haven't been on him in a couple of weeks and I go to get back on him, he has some anxiety over that. And all I'm doing here is normally I would do my groundwork before I got on him so that when I get to this point, we're ready to go. But for the sake of my video today, I did not do the groundwork first. I'm doing it in the process of, to show you what it looks like when a horse doesn't stand for me to get on, and how I work through that process with them and help them willingly get ready to take me as a rider. And then once I do get on, my objective for him is that he stands perfectly still. I also chose to do this out in the arena, in the open. My arena doesn't have a rail, so it's open to 8 acres of pasture out here. So if he wanted to leave, he certainly could. I chose that for the sake of working in the shade this morning, and also so that he doesn't feel like he's cornered in my round pen, and that might act as a false sense of security for me and thinking, oh, well, he's good. He stood like a statue, but we're in the round pen. So I wanted him to have opportunities to think through this process. And that's why we're out here. I'm going to ask him for another step. Good boy. Step up. Step up. Good boy. Right there. There's an easy give. Good boy. One more. Step up. Easy does it. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. Step up. Step up. Good boy. One more step. And whoa. Very nice. I'm very careful not to pull on my reins here or do anything that would pull his head towards me and move the hind end away from me. So I'm just going to rub him down. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to drop my whip because I do not ride this horse with a whip. He has some pretty good whip anxiety, and I don't need it in my hand when I go to get on. And I'm going to practice just stepping up, asking him to halt as I do that. I've got my reins in my hand. They're not tight. If I were to go and tighten up my rein right here or pull his head toward me, I would defeat the purpose of everything I've just done. I would pull his head in toward me, I would send his butt away from me, and that would be counterproductive to the work we've accomplished here. I'm waiting for him to take a deep breath right now. His nostrils are kind of flared. He's thinking, but he's kind of not blinking a lot. And he's kind of tight in the lips. There's a little more blinking. Here comes Donkeys. Do not touch my stuff. Thank you. You should leave. Can you whoa? We've been practicing our ground tying. Exit. While I chase off a donkey. Go on, get. Go on. There you go. They're so helpful. Good boy. Good boy. Now I'm just going to see if I can't step back up here. and him stay put. Oh, nice. Nice job. Good boy. That's a very good boy, Gus. All right, I'm gonna step up, see what we've got. If I put my foot in the stirrup and he moves away, I'm gonna go back to work. I expect him to shift. There's a difference in shifting and getting ready for me to step up. He's just adjusted himself to take my weight in the stirrup and for me to mount. That's all he did. He didn't move away. He didn't try to leave. Good boy. But notice if I step up and he moves, I'm gonna step right back down. I'm gonna work him just a second. By work him, I just mean move his feet directionally and with intention. Good boy. Excellent. You're so fancy. Good boy. That's a good boy. Now then, so I'm on. We've mounted. Here come my donkeys. No, do not play with the camera, please. They're so helpful. That's what it looks like when I get on a horse. This horse still hasn't taken a deep breath. I'm gonna sit here on him until he does. I'm not going to ask him to move or go anywhere until I feel him inhale and exhale. And I can actually help him do that by breathing a few times myself. My support donkeys came to offer their condolences to him for having to work in the heat today and to say, hey dude, it's cool, you're okay. My baby donkey is going to pick up his halter and lead rope and carry it off for us. So that's what that looks like. That's what mounting a horse looks like when you know that they're ready for you to get on. Thank you. Go away. Get. I'm not even gonna edit that out, y'all, because that's my life, okay? I can't. They make me laugh so much and I can't edit that out because I'm trying to shoot this video to help you guys. And here comes my donkeys and they're so helpful, right? They have to check out all the gear and what are we doing and how does this work and what's happening right now. And of course they knocked over the camera. It's sitting on a tripod in front of us. So no edits. This is all natural. This is what my life looks like every day. If you can see the little nose right here, she's trying to get my attention. But that's good. It's just good opportunity for me to school this horse, to help him relax and maybe try again and get back on again. So rather than just walking right back up to him and getting on, I'm actually gonna walk him around in a circle because I want him to exhale and think a second and move his feet. So I'm just gonna move him around here. Good boy. And then I'm gonna come up here and step up on my block and ask him again to pick me up. Step up. Good boy. Good boy. Step up. Whoa. That'll do. Good boy. Now, I like perfect, and that's not quite perfect. I'm going to send that back end around a little more. Step around. Attaboy. Attaboy. Now step up. Step up. Step up. One step. Whoa, that's nice. What a good boy. Now he's licking and chewing, and he's thinking a little bit more. There's a little more relaxation in his face and his body. Still have a little bit of anxiety there with the ears when I get on, but that's a much softer horse. Much better. Good job. So that's what it looks like. It's dangerous to get on a horse that doesn't stand still. That's our most vulnerable position. So if you're getting on and your horse is not standing still, I encourage you to go back to your groundwork. Get a handle on where those feet go, when and how they go before you start putting your foot in the stirrup. It will save you heartache, injury. I don't want to get hurt. I can't afford to get hurt. I have too many things going on in my life right now to get hurt. And the moment I put my foot in the stirrup, I'm setting myself up for either success or injury. And that depends on how well I've schooled my horse and how well my horse is taught to find woe on his own. I don't force it. Notice I've kept a loose rein the entire time. I don't ever have another person forcibly hold a horse still for me to get on. That does not happen, because if the horse isn't willing to take a rider, you are putting yourself in harm's way every time you throw your leg over that horse. So I'm Amy Riles with Honestly Horses. Thanks for watching and all of our donkey antics in the middle. Until next time, happy trails, y'all.